Hello, welcome back to Animated Literacy. This is lesson number 29 from the Story, Song, and Action book. In our last lessons, we learned the story for Arnie Aardvark, and we learned that we have more sounds in the English language than we have letters. So if we're going to spell all of the sounds in English with only 26 letters, some of the sounds have to be spelled with a letter pattern instead of with a single letter. So for Arnie Aardvark, Arnie has to spell his sound with both an A and an R, so he can't use just one letter for his sound. And Arnie's sound is the sound that you hear when you reach up, grab the high bar, pull down on the high bar with one arm, and hang there and go, R. Or we learned a second way to gesture that in our last lesson, where we can make that high bar with our arm, then grab our arm and pull down and go, R, this way. So let's take Arnie Aardvark's sound and let's put it into a couple of foods. Here was a tomato. How many syllables are in tomato? Let's use head and shoulders, knees and toes. Tomato. So if we put Arnie in there, we're going to have to use him 3 times. So if Arnie eats the tomato, it's called a tar-mar-tar. How many syllables in potato? Potato. So again, 3 syllables. So just like with tomato, Arnie's going to need to use his sound 3 times. Par, tar, tar. And if we put tomatoes and potatoes into apples and bananas, it's going to sound like this. Arnie likes to art, tar-mar-tars and par-tar-tars. Your turn. Arnie likes to art, tar-mar-tars and par-tar-tars. Let's try a few more vowel sounds with those. Here's Irving, and he turns his scooter, and it goes as he's going around the corner. So if Irving eats a potato, what's it going to be called? Per-tur-tur. And if he eats a tomato, what's this going to be called? Tur-mer-tur. And here's Ollie Ostrich, so going to the doctor and saying, ah. So if he eats the tomato, what's it's called? Ta-ma-ta. And if he eats the potato, what is it? Pa-ta-ta. Here's Uncle Upton, and he's up there in his umbrella tree, so go, ah. And if he eats the tomato, what are we going to call it? Ta-ma-ta. Once again, try it. Ta-ma-ta. And his potato is going to be what? Pa-ta-ta. Let's try a few of our consonant sounds now. What would our cat say? Meow. So everybody tickle your tummy. What's Timmy Tiger's cat going to be? Teow. Here's Rosie Raccoon riding. So what's her cat going to say? Reow, reow. And if we put Timmy and Rosie together, what's it going to be? Treow, treow. Here's our owl. And so if Timmy's owl, if the owl goes hoot, hoot, Timmy's owl's going to be what? Tickling. Toot, toot. Rosie's is going to be root, root. And Polly's is going to be painting poot, poot. Hippie's will be hoot, hoot. Daisy's, see if you can do it before me, doot, doot. And Mimi's is going to be what? Moot, moot. Sadie's will be what? Suit, suit. And back to Timmy is going to be toot, toot. And if we put Sadie and Timmy together, what's it going to be? Stoot, stoot. And if we put Rosie on the end of that and have 3 sounds, it's going to be stroot, stroot. So the better we get at playing with those sounds, the easier it's going to be to read words. There's an old song about the word that we're going to learn to draw and label and read and write today. And it goes like this, so I bet you've heard it before. So if you have, would you join me in singing it? Ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, people learn their address with that song. Some learn their telephone number. And all of us probably learn our ABCs in order with that song. So let's try our ABCs. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Now we also learned another song with that. Actress Annie added ants. Annie added apples too. Alligators, antelopes, acrobats and astronauts. Added words that start with A. Added on an abacus. So when you sing the alphabet songs and when you read the stories, you can do them over and over and over again. So if you have a book of the stories, those can be read over and over, and the songs can be sung over and over again. And the more you play with them, the easier it's going to be for you to read books with all of the words in the books that you want to read. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star appears in a really nice book by Isa Trapani that looks like this. And this is a Skybrary book, so you can either read it from the physical book or you can read it from the Skybrary book. And it starts out just like we were singing with the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but then it keeps on going and going and going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny, with verse after verse after verse after verse. So just like we were doing, singing Twinkle, Twinkle in many different ways, this book will give you many other ways to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. This is another favorite book of mine about stars. And this is about a boy who wants to see if he can catch a star. There's an old song that some of you might have heard about catching a falling star and putting it in your pocket and saving it for a rainy day. Well, maybe that's what this boy wants to do with his star. Let's read just a little bit of it. And then maybe you can find this book in a library or a bookstore or somewhere, and then your parent or teacher can read the whole book for you. Once there was a boy, and the boy loved stars very much. Every night, the boy watched the stars in his window, and here he is looking out his window at the stars. He dreamed how this star might be his friend. They would play hide and seek together. And stars like to appear in the sky and then disappear in the sky, just like in playing hide and seek. The boy decided he would try to catch a star. He thought that getting up early in the morning would be best. Do you think if you get up in the morning, you can see stars? If you get up real early, you might. But if the sun's out, it's going to be pretty hard to see them. So the next day, he set out at sunrise. But he could not see a star anywhere. He sat down and waited for one to appear. How long do you think he's going to have to wait before a star would appear? Probably all day till it starts to get dark again. This is another good Skybrary book that tells you a lot of factual information about stars. So if you have the Skybrary app, you can read that book directly off of Skybrary, and there's many other books for that. The closest star that we have to the Earth is the sun. So the sun is also a star. And as we're doing our lesson today, we're going to draw a picture of a star. Then we're going to draw a picture of a different kind of star. And we read some of this book before. This is a book called The Star of the Show. So rather than a star in the sky, this is a star that gets up on stage and sings and dances or gets in the movies and acts and makes all kinds of interesting information. So let's get out our paper and our pens. Well, let's draw a picture of a star today. And I'm going to show you a real easy way to draw a star that I think you'll find a lot of fun. So let's start out. Take a cap off your pen, put it up in your ready position. Show me when you're ready to draw the points of a star. So let's start by coming down with a diagonal line here. Come back up to the top to a point and make a diagonal line here. So it looks like we're making an A. Now we're going to finish our A, but when we put the line on, instead of putting it in the middle, we're going to come up past the middle and put it up here. So now it's an A, but this line's too high up for a normal A. Then we're going to come from that line out to the side a little bit and out to this side a little bit. Now we're going to come from this point all the way up and try to connect to this point. Then we're going to come down again to this point, come all the way up and connect to this point. And now what have we made? We've made a star. Listen to the sounds in star. Everybody say star. What do you hear first? S for surfing. And how does Sadie Seal spell that? With an S. So we're going to start our S just like we do for a C. Then as we get to here, we're going to go backwards this way. Show me the next sound you hear in star. Everybody go star, star. You might hear tickling there. What's Timmy Tiger's letter for tickling? T. So let's start a little bit taller than our S. Come down next to the S, and then come up next to the top of the S with another straight line. Show me the next sound you hear in star. Everybody go star, star. R for Arnie Aardvark. Now we can help to remember how he spells his sound by going back and singing just a little bit of his song. Part of his song goes like this, so I'll sing it and you sing it after me. AR is for Arnie, AR is for Arnie, hanging from the high bar, hanging from the high bar. Sing that again. AR is for Arnie, AR is for Arnie. How are we going to spell Arnie sound? With an A and an R. So for our A, we're going to make a circle again. Put a straight line next to it. For our R, we're going to make a straight line. And then we're going to come around like this, like a hook, like you might think of Captain Hook, because the AR makes his pirate sound of R. Now we can put our word star inside a circle and tie the string so it doesn't float away. Now we're going to draw a picture of a special kind of star. So let's see if we can figure out what kind of star we're going to draw. This time I'm going to use all capital letters up at the top. I'm going to make a straight line down, come back up to the top, and come halfway down for our letter P. What's the sound for P? P. Now we're going to put an O next to that. And I'm going to make my O just as tall as my P for capital letters. What's the sound for O? Ah. I'm going to make a P again on the end. So if we put those three sounds together, what word did we make? Pop. Just like when we drew a picture of a dad and we called him a what? A pop. Only this isn't going to be a dad. This is going to be something else. So now we're going to leave a space before we write the next word. And we're going to make a capital S. Okay. S. Now we're going to put a T next to that. This time we'll make it a capital T, so we'll put our straight line on top of it. Then we're going to make capital AR for Arnie. So we're going to come down with our angle line. This time we'll cross it in the middle. And then we're going to make a capital R, straight line. Now it looks like a P, but we're going to turn it into an R by putting a straight line down. So if we put all of those together, this is going to say pop star. And so people who are very popular, who get up on stage and sing songs, are called pop stars. And you might try to think of some singer that you know, that you really like. And if you hear them on the radio a lot, you're probably a pop star. So let's see how we're going to draw our pop star. First we're going to come up here, make our two circles for eyes. So when you're ready for pupils, let's add our dot for a pupil. Show me when you're ready for a nose. Let's make a curve for a nose. Show me when you're ready for a mouth. Let's make a curve for a mouth. Put a little curve on top, a little curve here. Now, if we're going to have a pop star singing, they have to be able to open their mouth. So we'll come down here and make another curve so that we can open the pop star's mouth. Now let's give our pop star some hair. So let's start above this eye. Make little scallop lines all the way across to this eye. Now let's go down the side, just past the mouth, down this side past the mouth. Show me when you're ready for a chin. Well, let's make a curve here for a pop star's chin. Okay, show me when you're ready for the rest of the hair. Let's come here, some more scallop lines. Now we're going to give our pop star some real tall hair. Okay, show me when you are ready for our pop star's neck. Let's make 2 lines down, kind of on either side of the mouth, and a curve. Show me when you're ready for our pop star's dress. We're going to leave a little space from the neck. I'm going to come down, then I'm going to come over here, leave a little space again, and curve, and then I'm going to connect those 2 curves. Show me when you're ready for our pop star's legs. Let's come down here, here, and put a line down the middle. Show me when you're ready for her feet. Let's make a curve and a curve. Now we can put some little lines here so she's wearing some fancy socks because she's all dressed up to be on stage. Show me when you're ready for our pop star's arms. Now here's when she's out like this, and she's really showing off up on stage being a star. So I'm going to make a straight line coming out here, and a hand and back. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Come out, give her a thumb, some fingers, and back. Now because she's a star, she has some stars on her dress. So we can make some small stars. Make your little angle line, then come up a little over halfway, out to the sides, up, up. And you can decide how many stars you want to put on our pop star's dress. And so there's our pop star. Now she's singing, so we need some musical notes to show that she's singing. So here we are. We can make a curve this way and color that in, and then come up with a stick, and then the note comes like that. Okay, we can make another note over here, and you can decide how many notes you want our pop star to sing. So here's this, down, up like so. And here she is with a couple notes, and you can put as many notes as you like there. So there's a pop star. Now when you get back to do your work, here's a puzzle for our pop star. And down at the bottom it says, "I can shine like a star." And here's the words all in the wrong order. So you have to put them all in the right order and then draw a picture of a star over here. And now we can also use that to rewrite "Skip to My Lou." So here's our frame, and we've used this before. So you're going to put your name here and put your name here again. Then down here in the circle, put the word star. Then over here, you need to write a word that tells what you can do to be like a star. So if you're like a star up in the sky, you might choose to put the word shine, like we did in our puzzle. Or I wrote some other words that a star might do. So I'll put this up, and you can choose any of those words to put on your page. So a star can shine, a star can twinkle, a star can sparkle, it can glow, it can shimmer, it can flash, It can beam, or a lot of times you'll see a star falling in the sky. Catch a falling star and put it in my pocket. There's an old song about that. Or here are stars that would be up on the stage. So a star could sing, dance, act. A star could perform. So you might try to think of some other words that you could put there to tell something that a star could do, and then you can finish your song and draw a picture of you up here being either a star in the sky or being a pop star. So thank you very much for joining me again. In our next lesson, we are going to be learning about a new character, and we will be learning a new sound. So I hope to see you then.